like there's something called the Course in Miracles, and again, I don't claim to be. There's no specific reference that I am an advocate for one way or another, but I do like certain aspects of all of these different things. So in A Course in Miracles, there's something that it's just very true. In the beginning of it, it's like this process of getting a human to understand that every single thing that you are seeing or experiencing, or even the thoughts in your personal mind, that you've given it meaning. I can't explain how important that is. There's the you, that personal story, that personal mind, that has given meaning or accepted the meaning that another has given the thing, which means you've given it meaning because you just allowed someone else to give it meaning, and then you accepted that meaning, and now it's your own. Everything from your cat, your dog, the lamp, the street, that car, like leaves, everything, you have given it meaning or accepted meaning too. So you're not seeing, that's what I was saying in the beginning. It's like everything, the word or the thing, it's like the word is twice removed from what reality is. The word is twice removed because it's like, there's a cow. There's a cow. I raced motorcycles, and I was at a motorcycle race yesterday, and there was like this big farm in this field. And I was sitting here thinking about it. I'm driving by, I'm like, there's a cow. And I'm just like, huh, cow. I'm like, that's such a funny word. Like cow, such a funny word, right? There are all these words that we use, so funny. But I'm like, so now in my mind, this is what happens. And it's just fun now. But like there's a cow. I'm staring at what a cow is in reality, as far as like this animal. And then in my like Sesame Street, in my head, there's this word with like just C-O-W, cow. And I'm like, huh. Like I can like see in my mind this word, C-O-W. And I'm like, to look at the word cow, that's not a cow, right? Like see the word cow in your mind, that's not a cow. But when I see C-O-W, I can also go, and then to the right of it, I can see a little image of what I think a cow is, right? And I'm like, okay, cow, there's cow. So like now I open my eyes and like there's a real thing that we call cow. So now if I was a child and let's just say I tried to go cow tipping and I got kicked by a cow, now I don't have just like this neutral idea of what I was taught about a cow. I fucking hate them and get me away from them. And I'm kind of scared of them. And somebody might be like, look at all those cows. Yo, it's so awesome. And I'm like, those cows, man. What? Like, fuck those cows. So now we literally are living in a world. People ask me all the time. It's my favorite thing. And it took me actually quite a while to get to an answer that I found acceptable for me. And that is that, like, or it's the whole, yes, the polarization, but it's also the whole yin and yang and the non-physical, physical aspect of it. People keep trying to say that like it's one or the other. It's a material world and it's physical, and like this is the physical world and it's measurable and science and math and everything. And I love all that stuff. I think it's all wonderful. But then there's the non-physical aspect of it, which is there needs to be an observer. Without the observer, there is no physical world. Like people like they're lost. It got lost on me for a long time. But the power of this, what we're talking about just right now, is that like, yes to the physical, yes to that cow. There's a cow there. It's 100% for sure. In my world, I mean, you can go really down the rabbit hole of like solipsism and stuff, but I don't want to even do that. In my world, while I am here and aware, right, I can see that there's a physical thing that we're calling a cow. Pick anything else that you want if you don't like cow. But whatever it is that's physical, in my world, it does not exist if I don't. In my world, if I drop dead next to the cow, in the way that we're taught is that in my experience, that the cow is still there, I am not. But in my world, then the cow's not there either. So even just forgetting, because it's all going to tie in, even just forgetting like the meaning that there's a Pat Mahan that got kicked by a cow when he was a kid and now he hates cows. But that's not a representation of all cows. If there are 8 billion people in the world and there's one cow, there isn't one cow. There's 8 billion cows in reality. In reality, if there's 10 of us in a room and we're the only, us 3 are the only aware, or 4 are the only aware people on Earth, we are the only vessel for awareness to flow through, us 4. We're in a room. I'm just going to keep going with this. And you bring in a cow, right? There's one cow objectively, we'll say. But there's not. There's 4 fucking cows in observationally in an experience. So it doesn't matter that there's one of something. You know, some people are like multiple realities. You could change your reality, shift your timeline, right? Parallel reality meditation. Like it doesn't, yes, all of that's true, but there can still be one objective reality that you perceive differently for you. And then, yes, it changed your reality. But people are like, you could jump to a different Earth. I don't care. It doesn't matter because once you're there, you're there. So like all that stuff is kind of a wild way of trying to get people, like they call it spiritual bypassing. You're trying to get out of where you are to get to somewhere better. It's still ego. So if you realize that, like, yes, there's one, we'll call it thing, one cow that we all perceive differently. When you realize that, this is going to sound so funny, but when you realize that you're what the experience of what we're calling this physical thing that we're labeling a cow, and then there's an I that's perceiving it. If you move the I away, not the I am, but the me. If I move the Pat Mahan of it all, meaning I'm no longer in this moment going to give my attention and valuable awareness to the story of what I think about this fucking cow, that I have an ability to no longer allow that momentum to unconsciously override the moment that I'm in. That's a thing that happens in awakening and spirituality. You realize that you're not your thoughts, you're aware of them. That's a powerful tool. So now I'm aware that I have a meaning to a cow. I know why. I got kicked. That was traumatic, right? So like, it's not this cow's fault. That was a cow years ago. So now I'm going to let go of the fact that like I once was kicked by a cow, and I'm going to let go of that meaning. I let go of a little bit of resistance. Now I can stand in the same place with this thing. My meaning is gone. So now there's just my awareness of a moment that I'm in with this thing that's, I'm not going to even call it a cow anymore. I don't know what the fuck this thing is. Someone else called it something that like is a cow. Have you ever seen some kind of like an animal like that what's that fish that's at the bottom of the ocean with the light on its head? And that whatever they call that thing, I don't know what it is, but like they're just like, yeah, that's just a whatever. I'm like, what the is that? We're just, if that dropped from like Mars, we would lose our minds. But it's like in the ocean, and we're like, oh, an anglerfish, I think. We're like, oh yeah, there it is.
That's what it's called, anglerfish.
Yeah, I see it in books all the time. Like if you were face to face with that thing, you'd be like, you're an alien. I don't know what we don't know what is going on here, but we think we do. We use these labels and words to try to like make ourselves feel safe when we think we're separate. But when you realize you're one with everything and you can't have one without the other, and everything in your reality is a projection of you, regardless as to whether it's a separate reality that exists without you. It doesn't matter if you're not here. It doesn't matter if it's an objective reality that exists without you. So the next part is, and this is the trippy part, but the best part, the next part is, there's a reality. If I were to, let's say there's a person here and they're sitting here with me. There's not, so I feel safe doing this. But there's a person and we're all talking, and we'll call him like, I don't know, give me a weird name that's no one's name. Yo-Yo is his name. And they're sitting over here in the corner and we're all talking, right? There's a physical person here. There's a body. And this person has a story, and he has the story in this mind that he references his story by. And I can sit here, or we can talk to you about this story and be like, oh, he was this, and he was a sales representative for this, and did this, and he's married with 4 kids. Like, we could talk about this personal story of this person, Yo, we'll call him, right? And then there's his body. And then you guys could be like, all right, you can turn your back for a couple seconds. Yo drops dead on the ground. Just, he's out. But you can see him here. And then you'd be like, yeah, where is Yo? Where's this person? And I'm like, he's gone. Like, what are you talking about? Where did he go? Dad, he's gone. He's not here. Like, no, he's right here. Like the body, this is a person right here. Why do we say, what are we saying that we're not aware that we're saying when we're like, they're gone? They're dead. What is this person was here 10 seconds ago, and it's this exact same body that was just here 10 seconds ago, but now something has left, or we don't say he's here anymore because he's not animated, down on the ground. Where did his reference of self go? If there's no difference between all of our senses of self, meaning that the I that I reference before I say Pat Mahan is the same I am that you reference, the same consciousness, the same awareness, without meaning or definition, if it's all the same I am, then the personal story of Yo and his body are irrelevant. in the full scheme of an infinite game we're calling life. So that is why ego, that thinks it's the body and the personal mind, they're terrified of dying, because it has us scared into thinking that when we die, it's game over. And I like to think that we come from something, or we are something, that awareness that doesn't go away. And that right now it's temporarily aware of a body that looks like this, and a personal story from a person named Pat, P-A-T, with this story that I've given meaning. And then from within, I project that meaning onto the world, which I think is separate from me. And I live in a fairy tale land of whatever I believe I am and whatever I believe is out there. And whether it's going to hurt me or whether I've controlled it enough to feel okay. And the truth is, I believe we're here to learn that we are the infinite I am, and that it just wants to give. And you get out of the path of needing to get from this personal scared victim, I need to control and show everyone so I gain favor. You get out of that egoic part, even though it feels like you're going to die when you do, because you believed you were it for so long. So to go out on a limb and trust and have faith that you are everything and that you came here to bring that into the game that you created, there's nothing else that I've found to be more powerful in my life. And I've had a lot of wild things from egoic perspectives happen, and none of them do it. None of them do it. None of them do it. And I believe that we're just on an infinite loop of trying to figure that out. And then the more you figure out that you're something way beyond what you think your body and your personal mind are, then you start to play the game. And that means that you live your life not scared of doing or taking actions. I've never been more ready to take more action. So some people are like, oh, so non-doership, you just sit around and do nothing and blah, blah. Like, no, that's what ego would tell you to stop you from doing it, because it knows that when you do it, that part of you dies, or it feels like it. So I've never had more energy naturally. I've never been more inspired to like create whatever I think is happening through me than any of the other endeavors that I've ever had to try to prove myself in the world. None of them nothing I ever did in the world could prove what I wanted it to prove to me, because it was constantly coming from a place of thinking that something in the world could define me.